Welcome to the Roman campaign for Vidi Et Impera 1.2.4. In the last part, we consolidated the province of Cisalpina by taking this region here. But things are in a little bit of a mess, and I think at this point in the campaign, I need to take a bit of a pause, build up this, make this really strong before we push out in any specific direction. So in this video, I'm going to talk about two subjects. First one is going to be the tactics going forward and where I will be heading. The second one is in response to questions I quite often get in the comments, and it's not just this campaign, it's other campaigns, and that is empire maintenance, which is one of those mechanics that can sneak up on you when you're actually playing a campaign, especially when you're playing Rome or Egypt or the Seleucid Empire, simply because it can catch up on you very quickly if you're not careful. But first, let's just talk a little bit about tactics. Now, this is the map, and you can see I've now control all of Battalia. We've got the Carthage down here. Now, what I would like to do, and I'm going to emphasize the word like, is to come up here, take Noria, then push down into this area, because there's some very rich regions here. And I would like to keep Carthage on side so that they can provide a mid-game challenge. Now, the problem with Carthage in this campaign is down here, there's various scripted events, and there's a possibility that Carthage may decide to suddenly attack on me. So I'm going to have to maintain some defences here. And that is another reason why I want to take a bit of a pause at the moment, build up my legions. I'd like to get to at least 3 full-sized legions with all this area stable and able to defend itself before I move forward. Because one of the problems I could have is like over here, the Carthage here, and they could quite easily come in and strike this region settlement here, which at the moment has virtually no defences whatsoever. And what do I want to build here? I think what I'd like to build here is build a Mars. And I think I'm going to go there. And let's just do this. What we got here requires attention. Temple sacrilege. Some fools have been caught defacing the temperature. I'm going to hand him over wherever he is. He shouldn't be defacing the Temple of Jupiter. Now, these armies took quite a lot of damage when I was fighting up here, and they do really need to be rebuilt. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this army and bring this army down here. And we're going to send this army up here. Just in case anyone gets a stupid idea about coming this way. Next thing I want to do is send my agent this way, because Carthage at the moment is at war with a couple of people down here. They've got military allies with the Syracusan usurpers, which are here, and they've also got 2 client states. That makes them incredibly powerful in relation to us. And what I'm thinking, guys, is if I can get down here, find some of those tribes Carthage is at war at, and then maybe if they're way over here, I'll declare war on them as well. That would make Carthage happy. The other thing I want to do is bring this agent back this way, just to keep an eye on Noria in case there's an opportunity to come up in here. Because what I would like to do is take Noria, not too worried about the regions that go with it. If I just show you here, you've got Noria here, and they've got Coria and Octurum. What I would like to do is just get Noria here, build it up as a single region province to start with, and fortify it, and then that will secure my eastern border. Before I start talking about empire maintenance, and this could be a bit of a long drag, so if any of you guys are familiar with empire maintenance, you may not want to listen to some of this part. But one thing I do want to talk about, and that is the Auxilary Barracks, because I have had a question about Auxilary Barracks and what is the benefit of them when you play as the Romans. Well, one of the curiosities of Auxilary Barracks when you play as the Romans is that what they do is they open up recruitment similar to the area of recruitment, and each one is different. So if you see here, this Auxilary Barracks, once I've built it, will give me access to some barbarian cavalry, and we've got here some Romanized, say these are probably be Gallic swords. And then but at the same time, you often get a few default units as well. So we come down to this region here, where I have built an Auxilary Barracks. You can see in this one, what you've got is you've got the Tarentines, which is the reason I built this barracks. You've got a far more wider range of units in here. And some of these are specific to this region, such as these Principies Samitici early, which are effectively they're Samite warriors. And we got late ones as well. So we got early and late. I don't know where they came from. And we've got Legionary Ventinari, which is the common unit with this unit here. These units are slightly weaker than the standard legionaries. And what I like to do when I play the Romans is I quite often when I go into a new region, especially if it's a region where I know there might be some good auxiliary units, what I tend to do is build a field of Mars, or what you can do, I mean, if I cancel that, you click in here and click here, you can actually see the units you're going to get without actually building the building. So the moment you've got an empty slot like that, that's one way to do it. You can just come up here, click here, and then see what you can recruit. You'll be able to see whether there's any decent auxiliary units in here. And what I want to do with this campaign is emulate the Romans, because the Romans quite often used auxiliary cavalry recruited locally and missile troops to work with their core legions. And that's something I do want to do. Anyway, let's get back to here. Now, let's talk a little bit about the main gist of what this video is going to be about. And that is going to be Empire Maintenance. Now, Empire Maintenance is a hidden mechanic which you will find down in here. So at the moment, my Empire Maintenance is 20.8, which is relatively high for this early part of the game. And what happens is, as your empire grows, this Empire Maintenance will increase. And that can be a bit of a pain in the neck. And what further compounds it, if I come into here, if we look at this, what you see is when down here at the moment, we're in here. So our base Empire Maintenance, as from the Imperial level, is 5%. When we get to level 4, it reaches 10%. And then once you get to level 5, it goes up 20, 30, 40, 50. And if you don't manage Empire Maintenance from a very early stage, and then you keep pushing out and expanding, what you will find very quickly that your economy will tank big time. Now, for Empire Maintenance, there is no quick fixes. If you don't put in the buildings, characters, and various other mechanics that will reduce Empire Maintenance early in the game, if you start to get trouble when you get to Imperium level 5, Imperium level 6, it's going to be something that's going to be very difficult to fix. This is the reason why I want to talk about it now, because having got the core of the Empire established, this is the time where I'm going to start really thinking about managing the Empire Maintenance. And there's 3 ways you can do it. The first one is from research, and we've got some research to do, so we might as well look at this. And the one that drives Empire Maintenance is philosophy. And now be aware, guys, that if you play different factions, the text can vary and the benefits that can vary. But what I'm going to be looking to do is get to at least this level 2 philosophy by the time I get to Imperium level 4 or before, if possible. As you can see here, this is -2, this is -3, this is -5. Then in here also, you will also find text sometimes. There we are. So labor organization gives another -3. Legal institutions another -5. And then it's -8. And I think that might be about it. So you really need to push these texts forward to get your Empire Maintenance under control. Now, another advantage of pushing the philosophy chain is that you get other perks as well. You should get cultural conversion, and you get public order from all provinces. I think there's also loyalty, but be aware this does vary from faction to faction. So there are benefits in getting this tech tree pushed through. And to be honest, this is the one that I always prioritize to get done first. And then the next one is this one here, where what we're going to be pushing for is some through here, because what you get from here is the benefits from sanitation. What I really would like to do is unlock that aqueduct, and I think tier 3 settlement. So I think what we're going to do is go for that, because that will unlock aqueduct. So that's the first way of managing Empire Maintenance. The second one is buildings. So if we look in here, what you'll see across here is the library. What you're looking to have is at least a tier 3 library in every provincial capital of the empire, but eventually, I mean, you don't have to build them straight away. I mean, there's obviously other priorities. When you're expanding, you may need to concentrate on military and public order. But once your provincial capital becomes stabilized, this is something that you do need to look at, is getting up to there, because you can see each provincial capital will then provide -1 empire maintenance, and that will really accumulate. So if you imagine you've got 20 province capitals, that is -20% empire maintenance. But again, it takes time to get all the way up to here. It will take time, but what I'm going to do is start the process now. You can see that's going to be 6 turns. We're going to get that running there. Here we've got far more important things to do, but what I will probably do is put in a library there. And of course the same applies up here. This has got a long way to go before it becomes stable. So that's the second core. Now the next building that will give you empire maintenance reduction actually does relate to the tech here, which I'm building, which is the aqueduct. Past the aqueduct, I think if you come up here, you'll see fire watch, and then we've got public baths and sewers. And public baths and sewers, I think what you get is 0.5% off of empire maintenance. Again, it doesn't sound much, but if you've got yourself a public bath or sewer in your provincial capital, that will reduce your empire maintenance. It will also fix your sanitation, which is this area here. So at the moment I've got sanitation here, but eventually this will drift away. And sanitation is very important, because if you're really going to build these settlements up, I don't know if any of these actually show, but there are buildings that cause sanitation problems. It's quite difficult to demonstrate it here. So having a public baths or a sewers or whatever they are, I can't remember exactly what they're all called, in your provincial capital, not only does it give you sanitation, it also gives you reduced empire maintenance. I think that, and there are other buildings if you go through. So whatever faction you play, it's certainly worth going through the build chains just to see if you can find it. I mean, if I cancel that, so you can't build it here. I don't know if we can find any empire reduction in here. I have to admit, I haven't really gone through in great detail, so it doesn't look like the Romans are here. I mean, that's quite useful. That is very useful for an early game, is the +4 sanitation for all regions in the province. That's different from other factions. Culture 400. Yeah, so there are no buildings for the Romans that reduces empire maintenance as far as I can see. Never mind. I'm just going to put the food in there. This is a farming settlement, and you get... yeah, so we're going to go with that, guys. Now the third one is a little bit more complicated, and that is characters, and I'm going to go through them in order of priorities. And what I really would like to do is for one of these guys to level up, so maybe this is... But what you will find if I show you here is governors are the most powerful agents. They're, of the 3 agents, when it comes to reducing empire maintenance, governors are, and they've got 2 threads, which I can't show you here, but maybe if one of them levels up it'd be okay. You can see this one is on level 2 already, and he's given -2 empire maintenance plus extra wealth to the kingdom. So top tip here, guys, always have the maximum number of governors you've got, and always try and prioritize reducing empire maintenance with them. If you can get, I mean at the moment I've got 3, so this guy here is there, so I don't know what this one is doing. Yeah, so he's got another -2. That's -4 empire maintenance, and there's a 1 here. So that gives you guys an idea of what you can get. Now the next thing that can happen, I don't know if it affects government system. Quick look, it's trying to explain it. What you also see is that over here you will get traits that will both increase and decrease empire maintenance, and it's also in this section here, though it tends to be more generals. And let's go up and look at the general here. What you will see here with the general, yeah, see this general's cheerful, mature, but because he's a lot young, he's actually increasing empire maintenance. So the empire maintenance is hidden in all sorts of different parts of the game, There's also, you can get traits in here that will increase empire maintenance, which can be a little bit of a pain in the neck. There's also generals get additional traits. I think down here is a general that I want to do. Let's have a look at this guy. He doesn't have anything here, but he's also causing problems with empire maintenance as well. I think this could be part of the problem with why my empire maintenance is a bit high. Actually, I really fancy replacing this guy. I like to have him as a floating general so I can drop him into a battle. I think what we're going to do is replace him. I think Julius Lebo is my heir. I've got other plans for him. I don't want to hire. I mean, I've got the cash actually. And the plebeians are quite unhappy. Let's get a second one of these onto the field, I think. I've got the cash for it. And see if we can... That gives these guys a second general, and that might improve politics a little bit. Because they've got a second member of their faction. A little bit of a hidden fact, if I come to here, what you'll see here is the Decia here, she is already at level 3. If you go to level 4, all the female characters, when they get to a level 4, they're level 4, which is the highest they can go, they give -1 empire maintenance faction wide. So if you imagine here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 women already. So if each one of these was up to level 4, that's another 6% off of empire maintenance. Maybe this guy will get a bit of experience and then get married. Let's just go here and just to show you how easy it is to level these up. Maybe not everyone's particularly that happy with us. Maybe we'll send her to cheer up Carthage and see if we can add anything here. Now, if I'm going to do that, I'd give that to her. Because I want my family to benefit from the gravitas, not the other families. Anything else that she can have? I mean, the traits that you can give females characters are pretty weak. Not slave unrest, local province, but of course she's got no local province. Don't really want to give her that. She doesn't really have anything. What I will do is see if we can pump in the gravitas here. Okay. Maybe work. Yeah. Put in it. Give her that. So that might help the cause. That about covers the empire maintenance from the top level guys. I mean, there's other little minor wrinkles and things that you can do. One thing you can do, which I will be doing down here once I've checked the empire, is I'm going to create a navy here. Now, admirals always level up faster than generals, so you could create a navy down here, which I probably will do with my faction heir, and he will then level up, and I will probably give him some economic traits. What you can do is create small navies of just the minimum of 3 or 5, whose sole function is to just act in an economic role, especially if they're docked in wealthy provinces. They can really start making a lot of money for your empire. Let's just have another quick look through. Can't really build anything at the moment. What we're going to do is, you need one more unit. Maybe if we build one. No, I think you need more extra units here. Wow, these guys are a little bit expensive. I wouldn't mind enough. Actually, you've got Terrari in. You've got a. You don't actually have a Terrari in this, and we can't recruit one anyway. What I would like is a second artillery in this army. I think what we'll do is we'll get another early Principies. Maybe bring up this army here. Anything else here? We got this. I think if I do that, then I can leave a space for some artillery. As I said, I can't really do much at the moment until I've got these armies repaired and got this area stable. And what I'm going to do is bring this army back here, and he can support Genoa should I need to move my armies if I get attacked. I'm just going to go for an end turn, guys. Apologies for any of you guys who know all about Empire maintenance, but as I said, people have asked me so many times about it, I thought I'd go over it. A political intrigue. Consequences, your diplomats betrayed you. Technology research. Okay, thank you. Hope that hasn't... Right guys, it seems we've got plebeian military reforms. New reforms usually open up new equipment and new ways of combat, not necessarily stronger overall, but usually more efficient in time. But the challenge presents ahead. Some reforms can require a period of adaptation and new tactics. Study well the differences in your troops, because it can mean the differences between victory and defeat. So we've got a mission here, research technology, category management. Yeah, well. So we've now got plebeian reforms. Ah, I can't upgrade these guys at the moment because of the tech, isn't it? And we can have a quick look at. So we've now got late Principes. Now the big difference between early and late Principes is these are spear units because, well, let's talk a little about the plebeian reforms. I'm not an expert on Roman history, guys. But I did do a little bit of reading about the reforms before I started this campaign. If I remember correctly, the plebeian reforms happened around 290 BC. I think they occurred after, was it the Samnite War? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because I'm literally putting this out of my head. Prior to the plebeian reforms, the Roman army was very much based on the Greek model of hoplites, therefore hence the reason why these were predominantly spear infantry. And what happened with the plebeian reforms is that the Romans started to adopt the gladius and other tactics with tighter formations, which they then used, which then went on to form the backbone of the Roman Empire. So it's quite an interesting period of history. Now the next thing you need to be aware, guys, is that just because there's an upgrade available, I probably won't be able to show this very well because of the things here. What you will see is that if I come into here, I can't do it. Okay, great. Let me see if I can find a way to do this. Now these are the late Principes. These are the early Principes. As you can see here, the early Principes have a attack of 5, defense of 11, armor of 70, and a weapons damage of 49. And what you can see here is the late Principes have less defense, more attack. The armor's the same, but you can see they also do more weapons damage. But they lose. Oh, the charge bonus is slightly less, and the morale is 66. They've got the morale's the same. So one thing you don't want to do is start replacing all your early Principes and Hastati with the later units just on the assumption that they're a lot stronger. What I'm going to do, guys, is I should be able to do this. I think I can do this. We're going to find out. If I do this, I should be able to do that reform. I'm not sure if I'm going to lose that research, but we're only one turn in anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this army here. Can you move across to here? Yeah. Not that I don't trust anyone. Carthage can be a bit temperamental. If you leave a weak settlement, they will sometimes just rush in and could give you a bit of a headache. What we'll do is, have I lost the stingers? Can't I recruit stingers here anymore? That's interesting. Have I got the same problem here? Or was it just the fact that... Oh, that's intriguing. We've lost the ability to recruit slingers. So we're down to skirmishers. I should have recruited more of these earlier, shouldn't I? What we got down here? We can get Sicilian slingers down here, Sicilian light archery. We can get Sardinian archers, which are 41. So what we might be able to do is pull in some. I'm very tempted to putting in some. So we may have, and I think this is the way that the area of recruitment now starts to kick in. Okay, so we got some slingers there. Luckily I got them recruited actually. I'm quite happy about that. Anyway, I'm meant to be building up my empire. Let's just get in here. Apologies for the various digressions. We got the food. I'd like to get the cash to drive the empire. I think we're going to have to do that. Let's see what we can recruit. You can't recruit anything here. What we should do is come in here. And what we should be able to do is get the late Principes, because the late Principes are actually tied to the field of Mars. So you should be able to get the base troops here. So of course, if we get up to this level, we can start getting some very good units. The trouble is these are going to be very expensive. And it's quite interesting if you actually look at that, that some of these guys aren't that much more powerful than the late Principes. If I show you here, where is it? Oh no, where are they? There they are. They're 7, 8. Okay. What we're going to do is bring this army up to full strength. There's probably, I think we're going to put another Principe in there for the moment. And we're just going to go for another end turn, guys. Okay, ready to command, politician. Character is no longer wounded and awaits a chance to command their forces again. Who was that then? Search for complete Roman unit upgrades. Mission successful. The art of war. Research technology for the following objects. Management. Okay. So we've now got that there. And what we should be able to do now is get back to this one and then pick up the research from this point. Of course, it's winter, so we're not going to do much this time. I'm just going to keep pushing this agent down into this area. Seasonal conditions, everyone's unhealthy and unhappy, and I suppose you're not going to be able to move. Oh yes, you can move, but you can't move very far. What you can see now, guys, is we've now got the ability to upgrade these units. But what you need to do, guys, is be very careful with respect to the upgrades, because then, as I said, just because it's an upgrade doesn't necessarily mean the troops are stronger. Let's have a quick look. We've got a villa over here. I'm very tempted to put that in, but the problem, because that would give me the ability to move, but I think for the moment we're just going to drop that in just to keep the food going. Ooh. You. Well, this is actually a minor. Oh, I mean, is there a way that I can? I suppose there's one way I can do it. If I come here, who's Lebo? You're Lebo. Raise army. You can see here now that because the Plebeian Reforms, any new general now will be a military tribune or a Praetorian Guard. So we've lost the cavalry options that we had before. And this guy, 7-9, charge bonus 64, armor 80. That's your command. So the new guy is actually weaker than these guys. Well, that's interesting. I should have recruited more generals. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to recruit my faction heir. It's definitely that guy, isn't it? Let's have a look here. Lucius Julius Lebo. And I think we're going to give you some traits that are going to security, public order, local province. Oops, so bugger. Minor diplomatic bonus, cultural affinity, line of sight. Yeah, we're going to give him that because I'm going to put him in as a naval commander. Well, extra skilled cavalry. Going to put him there, and then we're going to. What we're going to do is raise a fleet. I want an expensive fleet because this fleet isn't going to do much in the way of fighting. I want you in here, and we're just going to drop. We're certainly going to build a supply ship, and just going to get the minimum 3 in there for the moment. And what I want him to do is just sit there and build up experience, and then eventually he will move in as a leader of a legion. And talking about legions, guys, sorry for another digression. What I want to do going forward, and this is my overall plan, is that if I show you here, I've got, where is it? We got, oh, they're not in order. We got Legion 1, Legion 2, Legion 3, Legion 4. What I want to do is build the first 4 legions up as my elite legions, and then other subsequent legions will eventually become the support legions that will hold down the opposition as we go forward. What I should be doing though is putting these in, so I'm making more cash, shouldn't I? Oh, well, we've got a... Now, veterans don't have anything to do with Empire maintenance, but what they do is give you movement range. The line of sight would be very useful. And we're just going to leave this army here for the moment in patrol.
Ready for battle.
I actually like this bodyguard, and I'm very reluctant just to downgrade him, so we may have to be stuck with this chevron for a length of time. We've got a little bit of cash. Maybe let's just upgrade one of these. We can do a comparison, a direct comparison. So these guys have got more attack, less defense. They do far more weapons damage, and with the enhancements, it looks like they've also got an extra trait. So they're disciplined. They can form hollow square. They can repel cavalry. They still got disciplined formation. They've actually got quite a lot of formations, haven't they? So what have these guys got? They can't form square, but beyond that, they can do everything else. So having these guys in the field means that they can form square. Let's just upgrade these. And these guys can form square as well. So there's an advantage with these units because they can form square, which is quite a tough defensive position. In some ways, that means that you can combine these 2 units to get formations in the battlefield. These guys have got more attack, less defense. Beyond that, there, got a bit more armor penetration, a bit more weapons damage. And what's the weapons damage on this? Yeah, these guys have got a lot more weapons damage. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to take up 2 of those. I mean, the late Terrari we can have a look at later on. And what I'm thinking is to build an army of a combination of the 2. These will take the brunt, and then these will be the hack units pushing through. Anyway, I've just got another one of my guys here. I've got what we can do here: experience gained by generals, +1 experience gained by a general for the parent army per turn. Ooh, that could be useful. So we're certainly going to give him that. And here we go, guys, for another end turn. Okay, construction complete. Wine trader down here. We're still pulling down 5,000. Okay, Pappas got +2 local there. Concealed army discovered. Oh, that's over there. That's not a problem. Okay, First things first, Agent, where are you? You keep moving forward with these. Sesitani, are you at war with the... No, so they're at war with the Edrii, the Lusitani, the Turdetani, and the Gutuli. And you're actually at war. Okay. So, how? Carthage is still a little bit on the edge. I'm a bit inclined to send them another diplomatic mission to see if we can make them a bit like us a little bit more. This army's a little bit beat up. What I'm inclined to do is if I bring this army here, you take this unit and this unit. Actually, no, you take those 2 units there. And what we'll do is we'll take the Equites back, and that would give this army a bit more cav. Including the general, we'll give it 4 cav units. What we're going to do is give them another unit like that. And you just go into control. You can come up here. And you can just stand here. And you can go into control. You can come back this way. And then what I can do is rebuild this army. I mean, we've got 4 cav. We've got this here. Although this, strictly speaking, is a siege army. So really what I want in this army is more of the late Principes and late Hastati, because your job's going to be to hack through the walls of any settlement we attack. Let's have a quick look. Right, this is now built, so this should give me the recruitment capability up here. Got nothing we can build, so it's time to recruit some units. One of those. I think actually, how expensive are you? You're 1196. You're 822. You're 1, 2, 3. Need better units here. These are the late Terrari. Why are you? You're 714. Armor penetration, armor 80. So the Terrari are actually better. And you've actually got a lot more traits. Okay. What we're going to do is upgrade you. Where did you go? There you are. Let's see what you've got. You've got Fulcrum. Oh, you've got Testudo. Ah, that could be good. And you're 287. You're 250. This is a siege army, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another Testudo in here for these, because these could be really good units to absorb fire during a siege. And I probably won't have enough money for 3,000. Wow, that's expensive. How much? Yeah, 250. Yeah, 220. Got a little bit of cash to spend, so what I'm gonna do is upgrade some of these. Actually, I think we'll upgrade all of the Principes. How much are you? You're at 7. So you guys are the same price. So right, and we can't do this. What I want to do is make this into a very powerful siege army. And then I think what we may need to do is think a little bit about upgrading this army in a defensive role. Can't do anything else this turn, so I've just noticed the clock, guys, so this is going to be the last end turn of this video. Canadian exposed, thank you. Development. So we're still doing civil development, so we're going to push that. Increase in rank, increase in governor, construction complete, field of Mars, yes. And what I definitely want here is an not an auxiliary. That's going to mean I'm not going to have enough money for the artillery. Never mind. What we're going to do is send this army over here. Actually, what's the cavalry upgrade here? Let's have a quick look here. I'll put you in patrol. Wonder what. Actually, let's take this out. So these are early equites. This is late equites. This is 6-7 charge bonus, weapons damage. I'm not seeing a big difference between these. Speed 8, armor 90. So this is like a non-upgrade by the look of it. Or is that due to the fact that I've already got enhancements in this army? Let's just put this up here. Bonus versus cavalry, bonus versus cavalry. Okay. It's strange. I think I'm just going to do this just so that these guys all hang around together. I know some of you guys will say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, but that's the way it is. And certainly would like to retrain that guy. He's, well, I'm not exactly sure what he was now, but he's an elite spear infantry. I don't think I'm going to rush to upgrade these units too much to begin with. Actually, sorry guys for the digression again. We've got dogs, so we're not actually going to get any missile troops from this army. Get some Romanized hoplites. It'll be fun. I mean, they're not going to be particularly that good. I like these guys though. I don't know, they're not that good. I'm just going to come over here. Agent, where are you? If you come this way, you might actually... And I'm pretty sure Carthage is at war with these guys. Yep. Carthage, would you like us to join your war against the... Okay. We're just going to do it the other way then. And we'll just go into...
Greetings, friend. We will speak together of whatever you wish, but bring... Our warriors will march, and our women will...
And hopefully that will improve our relations with Carthage. War with the Adrani. Yeah, that's picked them up a little bit. If we keep declaring war against their enemies, they may actually start to warm to us a little bit. I think the offer to join their war has reduced my popularity a little bit. You just come up there. So this army just needs... I'm going to have to raise some cash to be able to do this because I do want to move up here. Should have really dropped that down there. And how's my general do? My little navy down here is doing quite well. This army can just stand there for the moment. How's garrison? One more turn, and then this will get us increase the garrison here. And with this running in the background, that will also increase the garrison as well. With this army here, that should start to make a difference. Medlem, yeah, you're nearly up to full strength as well. But this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. Apologies to any of you guys who are experienced players for me rambling on and talking about Empire maintenance. But as I said, I have quite a few comments from people who ask about that mechanics. What I will say, guys, is if you do want to know about certain of the game mechanics, feel free to chuck the comments in, and what I'll try and do is weave them into this series and talk about them as and when it comes. Somebody did place a comment about doing a unit review. What I'll probably do, rather than just do a separate video reviewing Roman units, I think if I just keep up what I did with the Plebeian Reforms and talk about the units as and when they come in, I think that makes more sense rather than just me going to a custom battle and just showing you the units. Because I think if you talk about how they're going to fit in part of the army and the role they're going to play and the differences and the reasons why you'd upgrade, I think that probably makes a lot more sense. And I'm rambling again, so this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it interesting, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.